Hi, and welcome to my homeschooling channel where I talk about all things homeschool. Today, my tip is going to be hopefully me encouraging you and how to not get overwhelmed with homeschooling. So, if this sounds like something you'd like to hear more about, please click like and subscribe down below for more of my videos because I'm going to have a whole playlist of videos with tips on homeschooling. I have been so encouraged from other parents and I've really been blessed by listening to the things that they've dealt with and how they've faced certain obstacles in their homeschooling, even such things, right, as rearranging their day. So I'm hoping to encourage you. And the way I want to encourage you today, again, is getting overwhelmed. If you're new to homeschooling or if you've thought to yourself, I think this year I want to add geography or this year I'd like to add art. Anytime you kind of step out of what you're doing right now and you look at something else, just like that, I can get overwhelmed because there's so many good options out there. There are so many good options on music curriculum, so many good options on art, geography, history, Spanish, whatever it is. Companies that make great science curriculum for elementary kids. And they're just, those are established companies. There are also lots of moms out there writing things and coming up with ideas on their own through either their own personal websites or through Teachers Pay Teachers, whatever it is. It's amazing out there. So anytime you pursue something else, it's easy to get overwhelmed. So I would like to give you some encouragement to not get overwhelmed today. So I'll just start with curriculum because that's what I've already mentioned. When it comes to curriculum, so for me, for example, next year we're going to be starting our 5th round with this same company we've been using since we started preschool, and I don't really consider preschooling or 4K homeschooling, but we did use their materials for both of those years. And and the reason I don't consider it really homeschooling is she'd have been home anyway at those ages, and I would have been just teaching her things before she went to school. But anyway, we have loved it. Right? I like the curriculum. I appreciate the cost of it. It's affordable. I appreciate the beauty that's in the pages. I appreciate, I can see the results myself with her learning and retaining information and using that information in her daily life. She learned to read with just what was in the curriculum book. I did not push it in at all outside of our time just sitting down with our book. So I've seen it work. I'm very happy with it. There are so many other options out there. I have friends using so many different language arts curriculums and reading curriculums and apps for those things, and also the math, and so I hear them talk about it, and I have caught myself on occasion saying, oh, that could work for us too. That sounds interesting. That sounds fun. Why doesn't mine have that? Whatever it is. But I know myself, and I say, what we're using is working. What we're using is working. And there's no real reason to change right now. But you could become overwhelmed with the idea that you can't find the right curriculum for your child this year or for next school year, whatever it is. And it can paralyze you because you are overwhelmed with options. That's one reason I've never gone to a conference. I would like to go to a conference, but I know, and this is another area where you can get overwhelmed. This is my second one. I know at a conference, I could go to all the amazing talks and speeches and listen and take notes and learn so much. I know that, and I know I will go to a conference eventually. I will definitely get there. It might just be next year. But so far I haven't gone because I know I could hear all these things and then I could start to doubt myself and question myself. Well, why haven't I been doing it that way? Why didn't I do it this way? This sounds like a better avenue than what I've been doing before. Absolutely. I'm going to be able to glean good things from there. I have changed just my homeschooling strategy from a year ago, 6 months ago. It's different because I've done some research and I've learned. But I've been overwhelmed in that time as well, thinking, my school doesn't look like that person's. Why am I not using that? Why am I not doing it that way? Why can't we? Why can't me? Why can't we do it the way they're doing it? And the answer is we're different family. Our family dynamic is different. My daughter's interests are different. I'm different than the other person. Think about public school or private school. You walk into a classroom, the classrooms don't all look the same. The teachers don't have the same personalities. The dynamics in the classrooms are different. It's the same with us. It's the same. So you're going to be able to glean good things from those, but try to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed and second guessing everything you do, because then you will never be confident in yourself as the parent and the teacher. And that discontent will just kind of sit there during the school year, and then you may always be trying different things instead of just saying, my child is learning. We're doing really well. I'm pleased. This is going well. We're just going to stick with this. So I am going to go to a conference soon, but it's very easy to get overwhelmed at a conference with all the options of speeches to listen to, which, by the way, I have gone to one online. It was virtual and it was awesome. But again, I didn't listen to every single speech because I knew that's just number one time for my child that I have to take out. But also I could very easily think I'm just not doing anything right because I'm not doing it the way any of these people are doing it. I was pleased to know that in some of the speeches, I was doing it the way they were doing it, and it's been working for us. So there are good ideas out there. But also the overwhelming feeling can happen with overscheduling as well. That's my third area. So curriculum, conferences, and overscheduling. Our week can't look like some people's weeks. I have friends who thrive on leaving the house. They have multiple children. They get up and they go. They go. Their kids love it. They thrive on it. It's amazing. The mom loves it. I'm sure it's amazing to come home at the end of the day and the house is clean because you haven't been home. That would be nice. That's definitely a plus to days we spend outside of the house. Also, with having just multiple after school activities, art, music, and karate, and swimming, and dance, and gymnastics, and taekwondo, piano. I mean, there's endless number of options. Co-ops we can join, homeschool days at a trampoline park or the museum or the zoo. I could just fill our weeks with things. I have done that before and learned my lesson because I got overwhelmed. My daughter got overwhelmed. She, praise the Lord, can verbalize that to me. Mom, I need some time at home with my toys. I just want to be home with my toys and play and just be relaxed here. So it's very easy to get overwhelmed with overcommitting to friends, to co-ops, to after-school activities, to field trips, to those sorts of things. And again, that leads to no progress in the home, but no peace. Like, no peace. That's the thing. If I had to pick like my top thing for our homeschool, it would be relationship with my daughter. And then the second thing would be peace. I want her to have peace in her life because that's what we have. We have a peaceful home, and there's things that are going to happen that are, you can't control, right? There's going to be things that happen, so there's no peace, tragedies and illnesses, and that's just life itself. But for the part that I can control, the peace, knowing we have our school and our friends, and we have our home, and we have our life together. But I'm not always rattling her and myself, just being overwhelmed with our schedule and our commitments. And so I want to encourage you today, if you have a curriculum that is working for you, don't second guess yourself because a friend of yours or someone on YouTube is using something else and it seems way better, right? All curriculum is going to be imperfect and all kids are different and it's going to work for some and not for others. So I encourage you, if you can look at some different ones that a friend has because you really don't have one that's working, awesome. But if you're like me and mine is working, just keep going with it. I'm thankful ours works, and I'm thankful yours works. So don't get overwhelmed with options and just second guess yourself all the time. And please don't get overwhelmed at conferences. I hope if you are going, you're able to feel that in yourself when you need to pull back. And remember that you're doing the best you can and that you're not a terrible homeschool parent or teacher because you can't buy all the stuff that you see at the conference. You can't use all the stuff you see at the conference. No one can. we just don't have that amount of time in the day. I personally don't have the amount of time in the day to do the things I would like to do with my daughter. I just don't. Not only because she wouldn't sit there that long, she just wouldn't, but also I don't have the time. I have other household responsibilities and things of that nature. And also to not get overwhelmed with your schedule. It's okay to have a lot of time at home. Excuse me. Or just, again, your week's going to look different than another's. Whatever works for your family, you don't have to have it look like another's. I hope to see you again soon. Have a blessed day. And remember, click like and subscribe.